be a little dark out, but I just bought a 2003 Ford Expedition. Got a little ding in the hood. It'll buff out. Anyways, seems to be an issue with the front end. I looked under there and looks like the tie rod ends, inner and outer, and the strut is bad, so we're gonna change that out. I'll jack it up right now, get under here, get a better look. Welcome to No Class Garage. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Another problem I just found is upper control arm bushings got shot. And O'Reilly's up here didn't have just bushings, so I had to buy new upper control arms, but we're gonna go ahead and pull those off and change those out too. So far I'm about $500 into parts, but hopefully when I'm done, the engine and everything checks out. Haven't even drove this thing but up and down the street once. It seemed to run okay, so hoping that this would be the extent of parts, but we will see. Okay, if you've never done an upper control arm on a 2003 Ford Expedition, one thing you should know that I just ran into is you need to take the whole strut out in order to get the top A-arm off, because this bolt that goes through this way hits the coil when it starts to come out. So you're gonna wanna undo the 3 bolts on top up here. There's 3 nuts that stick up on the studs. Undo those. You're gonna take out the big one that goes to the bottom down here. Pull that one out. Then you're gonna drop the coil, boom, and then you're gonna take out the bolts to the arm and change out this. This is why I'm taking mine off. Those look absolutely horrible. But right now I'm having a problem with this. It's just spinning free up here, so I'm gonna come up with a solution and figure out how I can get it to stop spinning or something. I was gonna try to get the impact on it, maybe try that. We'll see what happens, so wish me luck. Alright, well, that was fast finding the solution. 3/8 fits right on the end of this hex part right there. Probably would have known that if it wasn't so dark out here, but I like working in the hardest conditions, so here we are. So 3/8 and I believe 13/16 up top. Yeah, it's tight. Yeah, it fits on there nice. 13/16 and a 3/8, and I guess push and pull or whatever, push and push, however it comes off. But I'm gonna get them off, get this arm done, because this side's the easy side. I only have to do the arm, put the coil back in. The other side I have to do inner and outer tie rod ends, as well as the whole coil is broke, and this as well. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope I'm helping. I hope I'm teaching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, I kind of want to show you guys how I got this set up here. So if you notice, I got the wrench on the back side of the spindle where the wrench is stuck. It fits on there pretty tight, so I kind of don't have to worry about it falling. And I'm just letting the wrench hold itself there as I take off this nut right here with my other wrench. See, it's working perfect. It's pretty easy for me. I'm not struggling. Obviously, I can record while I'm doing it, so there's a good idea for you. If you're struggling with this problem, trying to hold 2 wrenches, or if you're by yourself like I am. But that's working, so I'm gonna get at this easier with 2 hands. But I thought you guys would like to know that. Of course, I don't wait for anything. I just got the truck literally a few hours ago, and I'm already, well, I don't know, got the whole front suspension tore apart. But I'll put it back together tonight. We'll be driving tomorrow. I got this. Now it is time to start digging into my pile of brand new parts. Yeah, good A-arms. We're gonna start getting this side. This side put together. Then we'll jump on this side. Glad you guys are sticking with me. I know it's dark. I'm probably not the best cameraman, But this is how you do it in your driveway with minimal tools, I guess you could say, or with no class. Welcome to No Class Garage. Hey guys, sorry about the train in the background, but quick word to the wise: once you get the A-arm in, do not connect the upper ball joint to the spindle until you get your shock and your strut, strut in there, and then you connect that. That way you're not fighting to get the coil in there. When it's all put together, it's a lot harder than it is right now. Again, it's that one big bolt and the 3 bolts right there. It's pretty simple. I didn't even use my pickle fork or ball joint remover, whatever you want to call it, but I got one anyways. So this is the progress. We're still on the driver's side. We're going to be moving on to the passenger side here shortly. Just got to slap this boy in there, slap that boy together, put that wheel back on, and send it. Okay, so I'm starting to dig into the passenger side now. I want to show you guys something. Tie rod in is bent. That is why I'm changing the inner and outer. Outer might be fine, but I'm going to change it anyways just because. And I was wondering why the truck was sitting so low on the passenger side. I think this right here might be a big problem with how it was sitting. So someone did something very aggressive in this thing. I might just want to look around a little bit more, make sure everything is still, you know, right, intact, I guess. But look at that. So, but yeah, that's pretty gnarly. I've only seen that a few times ever, and usually on the back of a truck, and it breaks off of the frame, not actually break the shock like that. But that was pretty cool. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Okay, so have the passenger side all tore down already. You can get a better look at this right here. That's pretty gnarly. So I'm gonna put the smackdown on this thing. So once I get all this put back together, I'm gonna start messing with the tie rod. I don't want to do it right now because I don't want everything to get all super catty-wumped. I'm gonna get it together because I'm assuming the alignment was probably good before they did whatever they did. So just because that's bent is making the alignment off. As you can see, I put spray paint right there so I can try to get the same measurement whenever I put the other one back on. The new one, I'm also gonna count the threads and whatnot, but that's just an extra precaution. That way I can gut check after I'm done and make sure that much threads roughly is sticking out on the new inner. I mean, that's a backyard redneck way of doing it. I don't have an alignment machine, so this is like the best I got. I'll measure the tires if I have to, front to back, and make sure they're even. But here we are right here, moving along. The side cam part a lot easier because everything was already in pieces. There's all my new parts right there, getting ready to go in. We're gonna get this done. Hope you guys are enjoying. Alright, so we're on to the tie rod. I already got it off here. It's pretty much the same as the ball joints. And what you're gonna do with this clamp right here, kind of just beat it up with a flathead or whatever you can get deep enough back there to get it to let go. There's a not reusable. You're gonna put a different hose clamp on there. When you pull this back, this big giant nut right there, you're gonna crack that loose. Normally you would take this side off first, but I'm having trouble getting this side off, so I'm gonna have to put it in the vise. But I already got that cracked loose. It wasn't too hard up there. Now it should just spin pretty much almost freely right off. And then pull this out, get it into the shop, get it on the vise, get this off, get my boot off because I didn't get one with the new boot. And then we put it back together and try to get our measurement right here. Get it all aligned, hopefully. Alright, so it was giving me too much trouble, so I ended up cutting it just to get my boot. But I got about an eyeball estimation right there. Should be within a couple threads of close to where it was. If it's too bad out of alignment, I notice any tire wear or anything crazy after a while, I'll take it and get a real alignment. But, or if my steering wheel's hella crooked, whatever the case may be, I'll go get a real alignment. But for now, I'm just gonna put it back together and try to go inside and maybe get some sleep tonight. But there it is. There's that put together. This has just got to go on there, tighten it down, drop that in there, put my wheel back on, and that'll be it. I'll let you guys know when I'm done. That's a wrap. It's all on there. I'm gonna throw the wheel on, take it for a test drive, see how it handles, see how it drives, and probably give you guys a little update after I drive it, and then finish this one off. We're at the Jack in the Box about to get some food, but I mean, she rides nice. It's kind of dirty inside a little bit. Not too bad. Not a bad deal. It needs a nice detail, but now she rides nice. It seems to run good, seems to shift good. It's not overheating. The heater's not blowing hot. So I'm assuming the heater core's been bypassed. We'll fix that too, get a new heater core going at some point. But all in all, it seems like a good truck. It runs good, runs smooth, it's not missing. So far, no check engine light. So, that's it. I mean, my steering wheel's not perfectly straight when I'm going straight. It's like a little bit crooked, but I'll get an alignment and we'll settle that. There's some kind of vibration in the back. Obviously, it's like the seats are coming unbolted or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out too, but you know, good deal. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.